Welcome back to the Fix My Fees podcast, where merchant services and processing is so boring, we bring on other people to make our business a lot more interesting. I am your host, Tavious Washington, and today we have with us Jessica Tavares, right?
You got it. Yep.
You know I like to get people's names right. I want to make sure of that. And Jessica has been in this industry of helping people two ways for 20 years. One is with her digital marketing services and helping businesses. The other is actually coaching people and businesses herself directly. So helping on both sides, 20 plus years in the business. Thank you for, hopping on this podcast with me today.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me, Tavious, and thanks for making me sound super old.
We'll just say you started at like 14. It's all
There
good.
you go. I like to stay around the 14 years. It's like good enough for experience, but doesn't make me sound like I'm like super old. But thank you for
now you got
having
me
me.
rethinking mine now.
Yeah, see? It's the sweet spot. It's marketing.
So, but speaking of that, how did you even get started into this? Because digital marketing is, a creative thing. There's especially different brands and different people and different owners. So did you kind of fall into this, or was it something you actually like doing?
Yeah, I actually I got hired to do marketing for a healthcare practice straight out of college. I went to school to be actually an elementary education teacher, and right out of college I got picked up to do healthcare marketing, and I was in that role for about 15 years, where I grew from being total novice, learning marketing, working within the healthcare space, to being the director of marketing. And kind of we grew this practice into one small practice in New Jersey to three locations, Princeton, Central New Jersey, and Manhattan, and just kind of exploded. And then once that practice grew, it was bought out by private equity, and I joined Foster Web Marketing, which is where I am now.
Nice.
I was a client of Foster Web Marketing actually before I became a part of the team, which is kind of cool because I got to experience life on the other side. So I can bring that unique perspective onto the team of like, this is actually what people want and this is what people are looking for. And so in that role, when I started, I was coaching lawyers and doctors on how to do marketing. These were DIY people. So it was, how to add content, how to build their website, how to do social media. And then I grew into the director of marketing for Foster Consulting. So now I do marketing mostly internally for the company itself, not so much coaching anymore.
So what is your normal day-to-day like inside of your business?
Yeah, day to day, I manage all of the internal marketing here at Foster. Our goal is to help lawyers and doctors, grow and to be able to have control over their business. We see that all the time, that things are really chaotic and disheveled. Marketing is doing 10 different things. It's not aligned with operations. So my goal is to help educate lawyers and doctors. Mostly that's who we work with, but I mean, it applies to any business, really, any small business, is to help them understand how to, clearly communicate their message and how they help people. Often, there's just flash sales, or we can do A to Z, and it gets very confusing for the buyer. So I really help to empower lawyers and doctors to hone in on their messaging and how to build a digital marketing omni-channel presence that aligns and that really can help to convert, someone who's Googling how to do something or what is something into an actual client or patient. So mostly with Foster,
Mm.
I'm working on emails, video marketing, PPC. I mean, just as we preach to our clients, they need to do omni-channel marketing. Foster Web Marketing, which is now Foster Consulting, is also really needs to do their omni-channel marketing, and that's what I do.
That's cool. That's cool. I do want to ask you about can you give us an example of a case study? Can you give us a quick example of something like that?
Yeah. So typically people are just scatterbrained marketing, throwing out messaging, hoping something will catch. But the way I look at marketing, the way I think everyone should really look at marketing, is your website is your hub. That is your controlled environment. So, kind of if you think about fishing, your marketing is bait that you're throwing out there in the form of social media. You're throwing out a post hoping that people attach to it, like it, maybe click through to your website. You're putting out videos that you're hoping someone will watch and then click through to your website and fill out a form. But all of this bait you put out, the whole goal is to drive people back to your website, where if you have a really good website, you can convert people. That's when you can actually catch the fish and kind of bring them onto the boat. And now you've succeeded in
Mm.
landing a client or a patient or, a fish. But really, I think people really need to understand that website is the hub of all your marketing. And then you're fishing. You're adding as many fishing lines as you can to the pool in order to attract your best clients or patients or customers. And I think something people really miss is defining their avatar. Who do you actually want to work with? We all know we have those PIA, customers, clients, patients, and no one wants to deal with them. So why are you marketing to them? To get more of them? No. If you know who your avatar is and the message is designed to attract those people that you like to work with, that pay their bills, that are happy to see you, that you enjoy talking to, life is much better.
Yeah, it's almost like people are afraid of alienating any
Yes,
audience at the request of, you know, alienating the audience that they don't want. Right. And it's like,
exactly.
hey, you know, the more I say stuff, the more I limit, and that could mean less deals, but it also could mean that person that's worth, not, just getting him off the books could be worth 5 or 10 clients because he takes up so much of your time,
Yes.
and you brought them on. So I could definitely see how that hits. How do y'all process that as like, is that like the unique perspective of you guys in educating those people, or what is the angle that you bring as the approach to being different from the market?
Yeah. So I think with us, and like I said, I was a client before I was actually on the team. And so I think there's two big reasons why our clients love us and stay with us for so long. I mean, we have clients that have been with us for 20 years since, the company started 30 years ago. We probably have clients still since right around that mark. But it's really our team is incredible. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to work at Foster when I was a client. It was kind of a dream of mine to work here because it is such an incredible team of people that are subject matter experts. It's like a bunch of like rock star nerds, honestly. Like they are total, like fun, good time people, like personable. We have chats all day that are just like, silly and ridiculous. But these people are some of the smartest people I've ever like known in my life. These people could be working at Google, at Apple, at NASA, like subject matter experts in every little thing that digital marketing needs in order to run successfully. And so I think our clients recognize that we're not this big, churning firm that has new people all the time. We still have, we just celebrated one of our strategists' 12-year anniversary today.
Mm,
Our IT
nice.
development, he just celebrated his 18 years last week. I mean, our clients and our team stays a long time because it's such a great environment. And I think, especially as a client, many people look at marketing agencies as like a vendor, like someone I
Yeah.
got to pay. And usually people have a really bad taste in their mouth from marketing agencies of like, oh, yeah, things are going wonderful. You got this many impressions. We got this many people to like your ad. But at the end of the day, who cares how many people liked my Facebook post? I want to know how many people are paying me to do business with me. So I think a lot of people get sucked into these traps of like, I worked with a bunch of marketing agencies, but they tell me things are going great, but I'm not seeing that in revenue where we really look for the results at the end of the day. Like, I don't care how many clicks we got to your website. I care about how many clients you got, how many patients you got, how many customers you got. And so I think that's the difference that our clients really see is that we care about the end result. Like I joke, like butts in the seat. I don't care how many clicks on your website, how many butts were in the seat,
Hmm.
paying you for your service. And so we also have our own system. Like I talk about website is your hub. What makes our system really great is that we have the ability to control your website. So we can create custom landing pages, custom PPC landing pages. We can build out really like thought out and fully integrated marketing campaigns. So your email marketing matches what your PPC ads, matches what content you're putting out, matches your social media posts. And so this cohesive strategy really helps to scale and build that snowball just even faster and bigger over time.
Do you find, because I know you talked about, how much you love working at it. Do you
Mhm.
find being a part of a good culture like that does make your working with clients better in that way?
Definitely. I think it really does because, our team actually cares. It's not a job at the end of the day. I mean, there are times I'll get messages at like 2 o'clock in the morning, like, oh my gosh, this thing happened. Can you help me fix it? Because our team really cares and is really like monitor like we own the clients that we work for, like it's our own business. So we don't shut off at
Right.
5 o'clock and go out. Like if something's happening, we're there picking up laptops in the middle of the night to make sure that our clients are successful just as if it was our own business. And I think it makes it's great that everybody on the team feels that way. So it's not like, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, please, someone help me. Like everybody's like, oh, I'm here. What's up? I was just doing something. Or yeah. And it's great that everybody's located throughout the whole country. So
All
we
the
have
flexible
people,
hours.
yeah, yeah, and always kind of on call. So
Yeah. Eastern people can be up a little earlier and answer, and then
yeah,
people on the Pacific side can go a little later technically than
there
that.
you
So,
go.
a little bit of overall. I like that.
Yeah, we got everyone covered.
So, how are you feeling, I guess, as far as there's in the world of advertising, it is a very, very changing thing because the market
Mhm.
is changing, right?
Yep.
People's attention spans are becoming shorter, but at the same
Mhm.
time, they're craving longer, right?
Yes,
It's this
yes.
dichotomy that's really, really hard of knowing which way to go. So, as you in your position
Mhm.
and knowing where it's been from where you started to where it is now to where it's headed, do you have any concerns? Are you excited? What are your feelings about it?
I think it's an exciting time in digital marketing. It's kind of like I know you aged me a little bit, but I wasn't necessarily in this career when, the internet was born. I was still in college. So
Yeah.
I know that kind of like rocked people's worlds. Like they didn't know if the world was going to explode. Remember like Y2K was a thing? Like
Yes, I remember that.
feel like we're on the same verge of a new way of life with AI coming into it. I mean, you were just talking about how you were using it before we kind of started recording. We all use it in different ways. I mean, at least we all should or could at this point. It's freely available to anyone. It's not gated. You don't have to be in business. There's tons of free tools.
Mhm.
But I think we're almost at this point of like, I heard a term recently and it was called beta bait. So everyone is kind of acting like they're AI experts. Everyone's acting like they really have figured this out. People are acting like they're actively using it in their business. But I have found that a lot of people actually are not using it successfully. People are kind of dabbling. Maybe they're using it to create content or emails, but we're at this point where it's really going to change digital marketing. Just like, you know, you might hear things, is SEO dead? SEO is dying. It's definitely dying. It's never going to go away. It's never going to fully die. But AI is taking over and it's changing things. And if you're not adapting your marketing strategy, your business strategy, you're at a huge disadvantage because I
Mm.
mean, AI can save you time, it can save you money. In digital marketing, AI can be the deciding factor in whether a client even sees your website or your marketing. If you can't show up in an AI search, it doesn't matter how great your website is or how great your messaging is. So I think we're at a really exciting time, but I think people really need to be honing in on what it means to be able to show up in an answer engine, what your business looks like when someone's asking ChatGPT about a service that you do or represent. I mean, people are starting to move away from Googling answers. We used to say, oh, I'll Google it, I'll Google it. The next generation of kids are saying, I asked AI. I asked AI. Like that's the new coin phrase. They even
Yeah.
say Googling is cringy. I'm like, okay. So, if you're not adapting to this new way, these kids are coming up and this is going to be your new client, customer, patient base. So you need to be adapting.
So I know I've spoken before about people who are scared to implement, but what about the people who are overwhelmed at the thought of implementation, right? So
Yes.
not necessarily that they're scared, but it's just like every time they think about, they hear it's updating, these new updates, and then there's this bot, and now it's an agent, and then there's a chat, and then and they're getting like overwhelmed, and like I don't even know where to begin to put it in my business. So I'm just gonna keep doing the things. What do you say to
Yep.
that person that
Yep.
feels overwhelmed at the thought of even implementing it?
I would say that you need to make sure you have a business or marketing partner that you can consult with because, like you said, you can get really quickly, you can spend a ton of money trying to implement hundreds of tools that you think are going to save you time and money, but now it's just a whole new standard operating procedure that you have to write. And, just any new product or service you implement into the practice has its own challenges. I would say you need a trusted guide or person that can help you implement this in the right way, because there's AI that you need to implement into your marketing strategies, but there's also AI you can implement into your everyday business, and how your team is answering the phone. Are they even answering the phone anymore? Do they need to? Maybe AI answering services, the way that, you manage your CRMs and all of the AI capabilities within that. So, maybe it takes appointing an AI lead within your business and someone that's going to own that and kind of be the deciding factor. But I would say to get with an expert in your field who can kind of help you navigate it, who's already vetted some of this, right? Because we talk about the beta bait. Like everyone's like, I've got this new AI tool, sign up here. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been dreaming of. And then you sign up and it's like, oh, well, we're still working that out. Oh, well, that's coming out in 2027. And you're like, wait a minute, that was
That's
a
not
lie.
signed up for, right?
Yes. So I think you need someone who's actually tried these tools, tested these tools, vetted them to say, yes, this will work in this exact instance, or no, don't waste your time and your money, because you could spend a lot of time and a lot of money trying to go through all of this.
That's true. Okay, well, now I'm going to take the place of a struggling business owner right now, and I'm going to say to you, Jessica, I understand what you're saying, and that sounds all well and good, but I just told you how much I'm like overwhelmed by the thought of AI to
Right.
think about which guru or digital marketing agency. I've been burned in the past. I don't know even how to choose the right agency, let alone letting them help me with AI. So how am I supposed to even choose the right company to work with? What do you say
That's
to
a
that?
great question. I would say that you need to look at someone who's going to ask you the right questions. What matters to you? Like I said, you'll meet a lot of agencies that will say, I'll get you great impressions and lots of clicks and likes on your post. But is that marketing agency asking you the questions that are very specific to your business? Because that's how you'll know if they're the real deal or they're just another numbers game. If someone's asking you how many new patients have you had in your practice this month, how many new patients is your goal? If someone's asking you how many cases are in your pipeline and what's your case goal and what's your case value and how does that fit into your pipeline? If someone's asking you those very specific questions, that leads to actual growth in revenue, not growth in people looked at your website and then ran away. That's how you know that you reached a guru or someone that actually cares. And then kind of do some digging, right? Because there's so much beta baiting that people are claiming to be experts, claiming to know it all. Use your best judgment there to make sure. And someone who can say, I don't really know, this is super new. Let me go back and check for you, because you don't need someone who's going to blow smoke. You need someone who can actually, if they don't know the answer, will go research it for you. And I think that's how you can really kind of weave through the fluff.
Mm, But nobody knows my
Oh,
business like
yeah.
me. So if
Yeah.
nobody knows my business like me, how are they going to be able to market it better than I can?
Well, I will tell you this, no business is that unique. No business is that unique, especially when it comes to marketing. The principles of marketing do not change. I mean, for Fix My Fees, for Foster Consulting, for such and such podiatry, for XY law practice,
Right.
marketing is still marketing. You still need a fantastic website. You still need to do omni-channel marketing. You might do more of certain things than other businesses, but that's what a great strategist would come in and say, okay, for you, we're not going to do press releases. We're not going to do TikTok. You know what I mean? Maybe your clients aren't on TikTok, but you should really be on LinkedIn and you should really be, doing educational webinars. So,
Mm.
marketing will not change. Where you spend your time and your money will be determined on who you actually want to reach. But that's true. And you know what kills me, Tavious, is I get this all the time. I actually did a LinkedIn post about it. Is I work with lawyers and doctors, and like I said, I worked with a lot of DIY clients previously. And
Right.
what I would get all the time is, and I finally let it out that I hate this quality. This is something I just really gets me is, I'll talk to like a lawyer, a doctor, or any business owner, and they'll tell me, oh yeah, like I'm a marketing expert. I do the marketing. And I'm like, that is incredible that you went to school to be a lawyer, did all of that schooling. Now you went back to school and now you did a whole marketing degree. Like, I don't know how that, because no, you are not a marketer. You are not a marketer. And it's a little bit insulting for someone who went to school for a long time to be a marketer. I don't pretend to be a part-time lawyer or a part-time podiatrist or a part-time, insurance salesman. That is not my specialty. I trust the specialist for that. So, as a lawyer, as a doctor, as a business owner, as a whatever it is you do, the CEO should not be doing marketing. It is not worth your time. It is not worth your money. And you might be able to cut a rug, but I can guarantee you there are people that do this for 50 to 60 hours a week who are experts in this and that can do it much, much better and really just help you scale faster, right? Like you can piecemeal this and build your own website in 5 years and maybe it's halfway decent, but are you ready to like grow or are you kind of just, are you a, are you a lawyer by hobby or is this a business for you? Stop trying to be the marketer.
Ooh. Are you a lawyer or is this a hobby? I mean, but
Yeah.
it is makes sense. A lot of time people do get scared because they get complacent, right? And it's like, well,
Yep.
if even if it's working, sometimes working could be for every dollar I spend, I make 1.5. And it's like, okay, that's
Mhm.
decent. And they're scared of that 1.5 going to 1.3, but not realizing that they're not the expert. That 1.5 could be five,
Yes.
right? If they're leveraging the right way over time. And so you getting out of your own way could be the most beneficial thing
Yes.
that happens inside of your business, and
Exactly.
then you can start to address the overwhelm. So, like with the if someone were to jump in with you and
Mhm.
they're now, okay, great, I have the marketing, but now the AI side, do
Mhm.
you help them with the AI part that maybe isn't marketing inside of
Yeah.
their business? Do you still help with that part?
We do. And actually, that's a great question, Tavis, because I work at Foster Web Marketing, and that's where I started my career here in digital marketing. But Foster noticed very quickly, the company, that we were great at marketing. We could get the phones ringing, we can get forms filled out, we can get people asking to work with you. But what we found often is that clients would say, "Yeah, I'm overwhelmed with leads, but I'm not seeing them in my office or I'm not it's not
Mm,
leading to more cases." And so it
right.
took us a minute to like reflect and be like, "Okay, well, what's going on?" And then we started to dig and we realized it's not a marketing problem, it's an operational problem. Maybe
Mm,
the intake scripts were just awful. Maybe nobody was answering the phone. I mean, you'd be surprised at how often people just didn't answer the phone or didn't have an answering service. I mean, little things we started to pick up on and we're like, you're putting all this money into marketing. We've got all these people calling and you're not even answering the phone. So Foster Web Marketing decided that we needed to be bigger and help in a different way. We can't just drive all these leads and then just leave them on your doorstep for no one to do anything with. We realized that we really needed to move in to help businesses understand the operational side of things, how to do intake, what numbers to look at. I mean, we would talk to business owners and say, "What's your revenue goal and where are you at?" And it was shocking how many of them had no idea. And the goals
mm,
were just like made up on the spot. And you're like, how are you going to reach the goal if you don't even know where the goal is? So that really forced us to kind of look back and say, okay, what's going on operationally and how can we help? Because at the end of the day, our job is to get butts in the seat. And if they're being blocked at the door, we need to help open that door for you. And so we do. We help with the AI in operations, in, client management systems, CRMs, customer relation management systems. We help with it as far as intake scripts, as far as upsell opportunities. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity
nice.
that you have with your clients, customers, or patients now that they don't even know half the services you do. And a lot of this can be automated. There's so much that can be automated now. A tip that I got recently was write all of your mundane tasks down on like a sheet of paper. The stuff that you're just like, ugh, if I could get rid of all of this mundane admin BS, how much more time would I have to see more patients, more cases, more customers, whatever it is, and then start looking at ways to use AI to get rid of those tasks, to get them off your plate. And I
Mm,
guarantee you there's a way to get 75% at least off of your plate and automated with AI. And so that's what we want to help, business owners do so they're not bogged down with admin and they can actually bring in more revenue.
right, bringing more revenue and not be so focused on marketing, but that's a time and attention that they can get off of their
Yes.
own plate that they can focus on elsewhere, whether it's business or even personal life, right?
Yep.
Being able to add
Exactly.
in that leverage on that personal side with you helping them get back, basically buy back their time, like Dan Martell says,
Exactly.
right? Over
Exactly.
that period of time. That makes sense. So in preparation for like AI, if someone was looking at it right now, like, okay, what are the small things I can do now as I prepare, as I'm building my business up to prepare for a Jessica joining in
Mhm.
and helping me scale? What are some small things that they can just to start to slowly implement to get over the hurdle?
Yeah, so I think AI can be really great at helping you to for marketing, even like building out your avatars, using AI to determine who your message is designed. Who do you want to see more of? And then building messaging for that. That can help to kind of create the outline of the website that you want to have. So when you want to go to a marketing partner and say, you know, because that's what a real marketing partner is going to ask you. Who is your avatar? What are your revenue goals? Because your marketing plan should revolve around that. That's the goalpost. We need to derive the strategy to get you to the goalpost. So start building out your avatar. What does that person look like? How much money do they make? What kind of schooling did they have? What personality traits do they have? What fears? What anticipated desires do they have? AI is great at helping you to really build out an amazing ICP or ideal customer profile that you can use for all of your marketing. And you can use it for your operations too, because once you have this profile of what it is, who it is you're trying to reach, you can use that for intake scripts. Now you can go back to AI and say, great. Now, with this person in mind, help me build an intake script for my front desk, for my intake team. Now it'll ask questions that are more related to that person, more in that tone, and it will just help build out your whole strategy. I
Hmm,
mean, you can use AI to help
okay.
you think of content ideas, so you can have it think of different blog topics or articles, and then take those articles and translate them into video scripts. Now you're doing more marketing in less time because you can duplicate a lot of these efforts. You can look at have it audit your website now and repurpose, add 10 new content articles repurposed. But I think the number one thing I would do for most businesses is to audit your calls, because
Mhm.
it is shocking the amount of businesses that are missing phone calls, whether it's lunchtime, early morning, evenings. And there's AI answering services that are so cheap, so easy, and actually sound human at this point. Some of them don't. So make sure you get with someone who knows what they're talking about. But there are some
That's
really good
true.
ones out there
That's
that
true.
if you just were able to answer every single phone call that your business had, how much more money could that lead to? I think that
Mm,
would be the number one way to start with AI right this second.
yeah, I like that because you're right. There sometimes people have the huge, large jumps that they want to do. If I could
Mhm.
have my entire business ran by just my
Yes.
team of 10, and it's like,
Yeah.
cool, but how many missed calls do you have every day?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's like, well, yeah, throughout the day, maybe if someone's already on the call, I might miss like
Yep.
10 to 20, but then after hours, I miss it like 40
Yeah.
to 50. And it's like, all right, so instead of jumping for the moon,
Yeah.
well, we just get a little bit more cases from the calls that you're missing first to
Exactly.
patch this hole instead of you trying to build a building. Right?
Exactly. Otherwise, you're just going to be flowing people out of this hole because now you're going to be doing more marketing, still not able to actually answer all these phone calls. So,
Right.
yeah, get your
Right.
house in order first.
And then we do have the other side of it of moving towards like hyper reliant. Like everything I
Mhm.
do is based on what ChatGPT and Claude and the rest of
Yeah.
them say to me. How do you avoid that? How do you manage the still need my or some human input versus the AI who can spit
Oof.
out the best version of the human input? How do you manage that or balance that?
It's a balance and it needs to be met because, especially as a marketer, we're trying to make algorithms, Google and AI happy, but more importantly, we have to make humans happy. Humans are the ones who make the decisions. Until we get to the point where we're all like implanted and the AI in our head is calling the other AI at the doctor's office, we're not there yet. We still are the
It's
ones that
coming.
control this. So, you have to make sure that while you're trying to do all the things that you can rank number one, you'll show up in a chat GPT search. At the end of the day, it still has to have your personality. It still has to have that human touch. So, and it's very easy to spot these things. I'm sure we've all seen them coming out now. Everybody's using AI chat GPT images in their social posts. A lot of businesses I see, and it's alarming because maybe we're moving in that direction, but also at the same time, it's so easy to spot. And someone
Yeah.
who's AI efficient very quickly will spot this. Funny story. I ordered a new picture for my bathroom. I was having a party and I was like, I need something on this wall. I ordered something off of Amazon. It was like mid-range level, not super expensive, not super cheap. Put it up. My 13-year-old comes in and he's like, Mom, that picture in the bathroom is AI, right? And I was like, what? He's like, it's AI and it's pretty bad. And I was like, really? I got closer to it, total AI once he told me, and now I can't unsee it. And I spent like a pretty penny on some AI print that's in my bag. Like, it's ridiculous.
That is.
But my 13-year-old saw it before me, and again, he was just like, "Ew," like, "That's not creative, that's not," so you still need to have that human touch. Make sure you don't just take what AI gives you and put it on your website, put it in social media, read it, add the personality, add that human flair, or people are gonna start tuning you out very quickly. You'll have the opposite effect. People are gonna be like, "It's not even a human running this social media account. Why would I like their post?" So,
Yeah. Yeah. And I know like we were talking about before the call, you said that I was
mhm,
talking about it because I feel like it's easier to just talk to it and it's okay to just do like you do a friend. Correct it when it's
yeah,
wrong, correct it when it's trying too hard, correct
yep.
it when it's not going hard enough, when it's not analyzing, when it's overthinking. Mine used to talk too much, right? It would just be like make up these ums and ums, and it's just like I don't need all of that. I was like, just stop that, stop that. Cool. And then like you know what I mean? And you
Mhm.
do it, but when you do it so often, like
Yes,
before in the beginning, I was having to counter every point
it's
because
true.
it just didn't know me, my style. It was just giving me what I wanted to hear based on the question. It's like that's not what I want to hear, it's what you think I want to hear. And so that's
Yep,
what I would recommend. If you are
yep.
a little worried, just talk with it, converse with it. Me, my
Mhm.
ideas are always there and I never implement them, but still, just to have them in there and have someone who's like, I'm ready to help you build it out when you're ready
Yeah.
is cool. It's cool. He's like, hey, I can build this out step by step. Do you want me to do it? And I'm like, no, it was just some random. I love steak, so I thought, what would it be like to have a steak business? I would never do it, but it's an idea because I love cooking steaks, right? So,
That's a great point. That is a great point. And the prompts, right? We put in these prompts to AI. You need to go back and refresh your prompts just like you would refresh, anything, anywhere. You have to get your
mhm,
oil changed every so often. You got to go
yes,
back into your AI prompts and make sure that they're up to date, that it has all the information about your business. What if you've given it old numbers or old data and now it's trying to run your whole content strategy off of this service that you don't even do anymore, and you're like, "Why do you keep saying that?" And it's like, "'Cause you told me that."
yep.
So, yeah,
Yeah, and that's
definitely.
also how you end up separating yourself. If you keep just automatically listening,
Yeah.
you'll realize a lot of AI's people. You start to yourself go, that's
Yes.
how ChatGPT used to respond to me. That's how
Yep.
Claude. I know your post entirely just off the first
Yes.
few sentences. But the more you tailor it and cater it to yourself, the more it does become, real. The more it
Yes.
becomes more authentically you. And something that I did that, you can. Some people love it. It's a little
Mhm.
controversy. Is I have a separate project where it's
Mhm.
just questions. Hey, start
Mm.
with 200 questions about me, and I want you to know everything about me, my passions, my likes, my dislikes, the foods, TV shows, movies. I want you to know as much as you can so you can help me when I'm creating content, make it more of my voice. And I want this to be an ongoing process. So it's
Yep.
ongoing. The whole entire thing is nothing but questions. I answer, it goes deeper or it moves on. It does not give me any other prompts, any other things. Just ask me questions, and I answer like one or two a day, right?
That's
But if you think
fantastic.
about that
Yeah.
over a year, right after you do the first 50 to 100, which I did right out the gate because I was excited. But if you
Yeah.
just answer one or two questions in that little thing every day, imagine how much it knows you. And
Yeah.
man, does it pump out some really, really great stuff for me nowadays. But
That's a great tip. I love that.
yeah, as you see, I could talk, man, trends, AI, starting to get me
Exciting
into the
time.
process. Let me. So, one thing we did touch on is like you love helping people buy back their time, which means you love the aspect of being able to help people create a work life balance. So,
Mhm.
business away, business
Mhm.
aside, who is Jessica? What does she like to do in her spare time? Who is she? What's her family like? Give us a little bit about
Actually,
Jessica.
I just got back from Las Vegas. I was at a conference, a marketing conference in Las Vegas. I brought the family.
Nice.
I have 2 kids. I've got a teenage boy who tells me I'm cringe all the time, and a 10-year-old daughter who's not yet hip to the fact that I am cringe. I have 2 dogs. I rescue animals. I think they're sweet. So I've got 2 dogs and a bunny who I share an office with. So between me, the bunny, and AI, we're just over here, cruising through marketing strategies, Tavious. But yeah, I'm really passionate in seeing results in business owners. I find the data to be really addicting. I say all the time I'm not a numbers person because my brother's an engineer. He took all the math genes. He like loves calculations. I'm more of a talker. I'm more of a, brand person. I'm more of a relationship person. And for me, the numbers, the data became really addicting because it's almost like pulling the penny slots. You know what I mean? Like you see those numbers go up and light up, and it's like so exciting to see results at the end of the day because each of the clients that I've worked with that, are still a part of Foster, I like to see them happy. I will sometimes just spot check accounts just to see their numbers of how they've grown from leads to, website form fills. And it makes me uncomfortably happy, Tavius. It's probably a weird thing that it makes me that excited, but the
No.
data is exciting. I mean, when you can look at graphs and see them go up, it makes me feel good. So that's what I like
It's
to do.
the Zig Ziglar, right? You can get whatever you want out of life when you help other people get what they want out of life. And so
Yes, that's
you're
exactly
loving seeing the results because you're going, it's all about them. You're not looking at your result and getting happy. You're looking at their results and going,
yes,
yes, I love that this lawyer, this doctor is getting the results because they
yes,
deserve it. And I think
yes.
that's awesome. What's your favorite part about work?
My favorite part is when I can see one of our clients like break through to marketing because often we'll get people who have been burned and marketing doesn't work. We tried that. I posted on social media twice last year and nothing happened for my business. And when I can teach them that it's more than that and it's a cohesive plan and this has to talk to that and when and at first I can see a little bit of resistance of like, yeah, sure, okay. But when they see the first success of like, remember we did that thing and we did it here, 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 here. Now look at those numbers. And they're like, wow, that's really what it
Yeah.
looks like. That to me is like, yay, you don't want to do marketing, but you understand it. And that's all I really need you to do. That makes me happy.
And what do you do to like unwind or like in your spare time? What kind of hobbies or interests do you
I
have?
am a big reader. I love to read. I've got a ton of books here. I just got a new stack of fresh books over there.
What kind
So
of
I
books?
do
And so what kind of books?
lots of different books. I mean, I've got Seth Godin over here, the
Ooh,
Leadership Playbook.
I love
I've got
Seth
some
Godin.
Russell Brunson. I think I have a Zig Ziglar here somewhere. How to be better at almost everything. So I like lots of different books, to be honest with you. Between books and podcasts, I like to consume content, I guess you would say.
I'm an audiobook person. I do try to read because it helps my attention span, but man, I'll so many times I'll be like 4 pages in, I'm like, I have no idea what I read. I know
I
I
know.
said every word out loud, but I have no idea what I read.
I know.
Audiobooks just helps me digest more because I could just kind of pretend like I'm meditating, just sit back and listen
Yeah.
kind of thing.
There you go. We've all
And
got our things.
yeah, to me, it's like it's better than nothing, right? You know what I mean? Some people are like, "Well, I can't read it, it's over." It's like, you know what? For me, I'll just at least listen to some audiobooks, and yeah,
Yeah.
I do love that too. That is
Fantastic.
awesome. I appreciate having you on here. You've dropped
Yeah.
a lot of amazing gems. I love your perspective on different things and angles as far as like AI and how you could keep the human touch relevant, and then people engaging in it, getting involved, and how to leverage it. And if people wanted to know more, especially if there's people who have been burned by people and they're just like, you
Mhm.
know what, I do love the refreshing takes and
Mhm.
the fact that you give first and care about their success, how can those people get in touch with you to learn?
Yeah, I mean, you can all reach me at Jessica at fosterwebmarketing.com. That's my email address. Come straight to me. Or you can catch us online at fosterwebmarketing.com. You can fill out a form there and reach anybody on our team who will be happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I will
Yeah.
make sure that I have your email and your links in the bio under this so that people have something quick access to. But thank you so much. This is a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
lost track of time. Sorry, but when you're having great conversations, that's just what happens. But it was
Thank you for
really
having
good.
me. I appreciate it. This was a great time.
Yeah, I'm glad you had fun. I know there's going to be a lot of people who learn, take nuggets. Again, I do talk about this on the channels because I believe it's very powerful. If you're worried about AI, transcribe this, take it, transcribe it, upload it to your favorite AI and tell them to bullet
Yep.
point some talking points,
Yep.
right? Bullet point out the good points and it'll take everything from this and line it out for you. And then now you have some actionable steps right from Jessica because
Yep.
there was a lot there, right? And so thank you so much again for being on the podcast. If anyone else is looking for marketing services, please reach out to Jessica. And if you would like to be on our podcast, just reach out to me at Tavious at Fix My Fees Team. Thank you so much and have a good night.